Hey everyone, I did a video the other day where I brined a beer can chicken, but I didn't show you guys how I actually mixed the brine up, so I thought I'd do one more and demonstrate that. Alright, I have a plastic bucket there, and I use that just for brining, and it's a 2.5 gallon bucket, and it's got the little measuring marks on the side, so I just fill it up to a gallon for to put one chicken in there. And then my other ingredients are 1 cup of kosher salt and 1 cup of brown sugar. So I've already put the water in the bucket. It's just plain tap water, cold tap water. I'll put my salt in there, and then I'll put my brown sugar in there. I'll measure it out, and then I just stir it up. Real simple. Sometimes you have to stir it a little bit to get it to dissolve. I mean, I've seen people, heat it up on the stove and stuff. But you know what? I don't do that. I do things the easiest way possible. And, that's it. That's all there is to making my brine. Now I'm going to get my chicken out and put it in there, and then we'll put it in the fridge overnight, and we'll be ready to go. Okay, I got my chicken out of the fridge, and I cleaned all the giblets out of the inside of it there. Now I have actually unthawed chickens in the brine too, and I'll just pull them out of the freezer in the morning and put them right in the brine and let them sit on the counter and unthaw. And in that case, if they have giblets, you can't get them out because they're frozen, but you just pull them out, later on when it thaws out. So, I think I may have made a mistake and said 1 cup of brown sugar when I actually meant a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. So it's a 1/2 cup of brown sugar and 1 cup of kosher salt and 1 gallon of water. Alright, let's put that chicken in there. This bucket is actually big enough that I can put 2 chickens, and if I do that, I just double the brine recipe. I do that fairly often actually. Okay. 1 gallon just perfectly covers that chicken. So I'm just going to put that in the fridge now and just let it brine overnight. Okay, so I just pulled my chicken out of my brine. That was in the fridge overnight. Actually, it was in there for about 18 hours, which is longer than I normally do it. Normally I do it for about 7 or 8 hours. So whether that's too much or not, I don't know. I'll fill you guys in at the end, let you know if it's too salty or anything. But so I do things. I like to experiment, and sometimes things turn out good, sometimes not so good. But that's how I figure things out. That's how I roll. So, okay, I pulled the chicken out of there, and I rubbed the skin with butter, and that'll kind of help the skin crisp up a little bit better, because when you leave the chicken in the brine like that, the skin tends to get a little soggy, and I found that if I rub butter on it, it'll crisp up a little bit better. And then I also seasoned it inside out with this Tajin seasoning, which is a mix of lime and peppers. They actually sell this in the produce section, so I think it might be more for fruits and vegetables, but I like it on fish and chicken. Okay, I'm just going to cook it right in this cast iron pan. I have my beer can holder right here, and I just filled that up with water. I don't use beer. I've tried soda, and I can't tell any difference, so I figure why waste the beer. Alright, see if we get this on here. Okay. There we are. Stand up here, chicken. Okay. Let's see now what. Okay. Put our meat thermometer in here. We'll be cooking that to 165 degrees. And then also I cut up a apple into a quarter, and I'll stuff that right in there. Kind of close up the cavity so the steam from the can will stay in there. Alright, I got my oven warming up over here. I'm going to put it in there at 375. So, we're ready to go. Alright, the chicken's going into the oven just like that. I had to pull one of the racks out and put the rack there all the way down to the bottom so I could stand it up like that. I also poured some water into the pan just to give it a little bit more moisture there. Okay, so we'll put that in there, and that's a 5.5 pound chicken. So I'm thinking it'll take probably an hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half, somewhere like that. Alright, we'll put it in there and let it cook. Okay, I just pulled that chicken out of there. The temperature just hit 165. And that took 2 hours to cook. I didn't think it would take that long, but what I didn't think about was I pulled it directly out of the fridge, so it started cooking at a cooler temperature than if I were letting it defrost on the counter in the brine, which is what I do a lot of the time. So that's why I always use a meat thermometer. You're just waiting for a certain temperature, and however long it takes, that's how long it takes. Takes all the guesswork out of it. So that looks really nice. We'll let that cool down for a few minutes so I don't burn myself getting it off of there, and then we'll cut into it. See how it looks. Okay, I let that cool off a little bit. Got it off the beer can. Now let's cut into this thing and see how it looks. Look at that wing. Just pulls right off of there. See how this leg is. Let's see. Try to get my arm out of the way so you can see this. See how juicy that meat looks? Actually, this leg, look at the leg, just pulls right off of there too. Juicy. Let's cut some of this. I'm going to keep my arm out of the way here so you can see how it looks. See how juicy that is? That's really juicy. If you've never brined a chicken before, you'll be surprised at just how juicy they turn out. Like, see, chicken breast is normally dry, but look how juicy that is. That meat just comes right off of there. That looks really nice. Oh yeah, I should taste it. I did brine that for longer than normal, so I wonder if that's going to be too salty. Let's see. That doesn't taste overly salty to me. Tastes good. Yeah, I think that's fine. You know, that's, like I said, I've brined it for 18 hours. That's normally that longer than I normally do, but I think that's fine. And, you know, cooking one of these in the oven like that, it works out really well. I mean, it's really easier than doing it on the gas grill. I did one on the gas grill the other day, and I kept having grease fires because of all the old grease that's down the bottom of my grill because it's an older grill. So, if you don't have a gas grill, or you just rather do it in the oven, that works out fine that way. You know, it's another way you can do a beer can chicken. You don't have to have a grill. Alright, thanks for watching, you guys. Talk to you next time.